You've got parasites. I'm sorry to tell you, but you've got parasites. So do I. So do all living creatures. And parasites are interesting because they form somewhat of a symbiotic relationship with the body. They feed on toxins and like heavy metals and whatnot, but they also feed on important things like nutrients and minerals. This episode on the Holistic Homestead is all about parasites, how we get them, how we manage them, what you can do to get rid of them, and more. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more health and homesteading and check out my supers and memberships for more supports. Let's dig in. This was one of the very first things that I learned about when I was on my preventative cancer journey 7-8 years ago. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of science that shows that the mitigation of parasites can help support a body to fight cancer. But I'm not making any claims, and this is not medical advice, but it was just when I was interested in studying what I could do to minimize my risk of cancer, that's when I came across this whole discussion of parasites. But let's talk about what we know parasites can cause. Digestive issues like diarrhea, constipation, bloating, excessive gas, abdominal cramp, nausea, vomiting. Parasites can cause issues in weight. So unexplained weight loss, which is very common, or in some cases, a weight gain from increased cravings. Parasites can cause fatigue, that constant tiredness or drained feeling due to nutrient loss. Nutrient deficiencies, anemia from blood loss, low vitamin, mineral levels that could show up in tooth decay. Interesting enough, when I met with my holistic dentist not too long ago, she was telling me that the erosion of your enamel could actually be linked to parasites in your gut. But parasites can also affect things like neurological and mood disorders, brain fog or difficulty concentrating, anxiety, irritability, or even depression. Parasites can alter the neurotransmitters in your brain and stress your immune system, and even sleep disturbances, waking up at night, or teeth grinding or restless sleep. So there is a huge list of how parasites can affect you. But how do we get them? If you have pets, you've got parasites. If you walk around barefoot, you got parasites. Just about all living creatures have parasites, and we have to figure out how to manage them. It's that imbalance of parasites that can cause all of these issues. Now, there are a number of things you can do to fight off parasites. There's a number of herbs that you can take to fight off parasites, like wormwood or thyme, black walnut, and you will find tons of parasite protocols on the internet. I'm not here to tell you what works or what doesn't, but what I will tell you is a basic formula. 1, take a binder, like this chlorophyll. I actually started taking chlorophyll in my preventative cancer journey, not only for binding to parasites, but binding to toxins, heavy metals in general. You don't taste it. And in a world totally overburdened by toxins, it's really important to find some sort of binder to help flush those out that's gentle and that's not going to strip your minerals or vitamins. There's a lot of binders out there like charcoal, zeolites, but some of those are actually going to strip you of your nutrients and minerals, which is defeating the purpose. And there may be a purpose for them at some other time, but on a daily basis, I love my chlorophyll. This one is by Herbs. Herbs has been around since 1969, and it's always been about a connection to nature with their products. And so they use the whole plant, never any powders or byproducts. It's straight up about just medicine that we get from this land. It's all grown on organic family farms. And this is actually the one that I've been taking for 6-7 years. I take it first thing in the morning, every day. So taking a binder like that is going to help you in general health, general detoxification. But now let's get back to parasites and how to remove those suckers. You want to make sure you're taking out a binder, number 1. Timing is also important. Parasites are most active over the full moon. If you ever go outside, like in the country or at a park, you'll notice on a full moon evening, if you're out in nature, all the worms come to the surface. I can't explain the science behind why they do that, but clearly there is some connection to the magnetic pull, just like the tides with the moon. And so you get the same thing with worms and parasites in your body. They are most active. That's how you're going to get the mothers, is through doing a detox parasite cleanse during a full moon. Binder, timing. The next thing is sweat. You want to sweat and get your lymphatic system moving. The more you sweat, the more you're going to cook out those worms. And there's many different ways to sweat. It could be in a sauna. It could just be exercising. But then also move your lymphatic system on a trampoline, rebounder. Use a body gua sha tool to just circulate the skin and muscular tissue along your body. You could get a massage. But that is rule number 3 for how to bust out those parasites. So in review, take a binder, watch your timing. You can do a parasite time anytime, but the full moon is most effective. And sweat and increase your lymphatic drainage. That's as simple as it gets. There's other little things you could do. A coffee enema works wonders for flushing out your entire intestines, but it's not necessary. It just helps. So what does it feel like when you do a parasite cleanse? Usually a huge boost of energy. Usually the removal of like any bloat, at least for me in my gut. I usually sleep better at night too. Those are the most prominent ways that I feel the difference after a big parasite cleanse. There's people out there that will take pharmaceutical dewormers and all kinds of concoctions and do really complicated things. But in my practice of healing and health, I have found that some of nature's simplest tools are the most effective. You just have to know how to use them. Now, this company, Herbs, also has an incredible selection of other products based on your needs. And it's all just whole plant root, no powders, no byproducts. This right here is their relief system for allergies. And it is a combination of quercetin and their allertonic. There's stinging nettle, licorice, eyebright, horehound, horsetail, mullein, plantain, elecampane in here. And it's all completely clean. In here, it's quercetin, vitamin C, pantothenic acid, bromelain, turmeric. And taking these in conjunction prior to allergy season is going to help you navigate through a big allergy season. My family has been dealing with issues with ragweed, and then this came in the mail. Thankfully, my daughter has been able to take the allertonic. The quercetin pill is just too big, but the allertonic pill is small enough that my 7-year-old can take it. Anytime I can find some clean herbal extract in a supplement form that my daughter can take, it is a win-win. I highly recommend that you check out Herbs for your own herbal pharmacy. Now, the reason why sweat and a binder, these other steps are important, and you shouldn't just take antiparasitic herbs and then expect results, is because you could experience a side effect known as the Herx reaction. And that's when you have built up so much toxic material. The parasites have built up so much toxic material that if you do not bind to the toxins themselves, they could rest in your system and cause you to get severely ill. So it's very important when doing a parasite cleanse that you dedicate the time to taking binders and also sweating. Sweat is our body's most efficient way of detoxification. Your entire body is like one porous organ that is able to sweat out toxins. It's beautiful. And so this sauna is one of my favorite ways to do it, but you could also do it just by straight up being outside, exercising. Just make sure that you're inducing a sweat. The other thing to consider is some sort of lymphatic drainage. You could use a massage, you could use a body gua sha tool, you could jump, use a rebounder, anything, so that way your lymphatic system is moving everything through and you can successfully eliminate the parasites on the back end. What I love about ChlorOxygen also is that it's tasteless. So my daughter can taste this as a regular binder when she goes out to eat and eats some French fries cooked in seed oils, or has to deal with glyphosate food at restaurant. We've got ChlorOxygen that she can take. I'll usually add it 1 squeeze dropper full to her water along with some lime or lemon and a little maple syrup to make a green lemonade. And knowing that I have gentle, safe detoxification protocols for my family and my children is amazing. Now, the very last thing that I love about ChlorOxygen is that it's really hard to overdo it with chlorophyll. Again, it's a superfood. So I always take it first thing in the morning, but I also take it before or after a sweat to help bind to toxins and or parasites. Another added bonus of chlorophyll. I know I keep thinking of so many different things to use chlorophyll for, but it's just a fact that chlorophyll I was originally introduced to as cancer prevention, and the reason for that is it creates red blood cells. What do parasites do? They cause anemia. Feelings of fatigue or weakness could very well be low levels of anemia nonetheless, and this helps build healthy red blood cells to replace that. So I even give this to my goats when they're dealing with that. I hope you enjoyed this episode at the Holistic Homestead on parasites and how to detoxify your body and pull those suckers out. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel for more health and homesteading content. Check out those memberships and supers for more support. Cheers.